Hey everybody, I'm here for a Scrappy Tagged. I was tagged by my friend Melissa Elsner for this YouTube Scrappy Tag thing, so I said I would participate, so here's the day. I don't often like getting behind the camera, number one, because right now I'm looking at myself and that's kind of aggravating for me. And I'm a bit of a private kind of person, so I don't kind of enjoy this. So usually I'm behind the other side of the camera. So yeah, so here we go. I'm in my Scrappy space, as you can see, which is currently the status is a garbage pit. I'll show you around while you're here. I'm in the basement of my house. You can see here I have like a couple Expedit bookshelves. Here's my Cameo, my laptop. We'll get to that later. And get ready, here's the horrible part, because that wasn't even bad. This is the stuff I need to get rid of, or new stuff I just got because I was shipped for some assignments and stuff. Get ready. It's really bad. There's my unused treadmill. And yeah, those are a whole bunch of boxes of stuff I have been purging, and I probably have more I should do. But anyway, that's where I create. I'm in the basement of my house. It's not a very happy space. As you can see, it's pretty dark and gloomy. There's no ceiling. So it is what it is. So let's get to the Scrappy Tag. I have a bunch of questions here I'm going to answer. I'm just going to put my glasses on because I'm over 40 and that's kind of how it goes. All right, so number one question is, what's one scrapbook item you do not own that surprises me? I don't think I have anything that surprises me that I don't have. I'm kind of surprised I haven't bought the Mink yet. I got a laser printer a few months ago and I'm seriously considering getting the Mink, and so that's kind of the one thing that I'm surprised I don't have yet, but don't mind me, just fixing my computer. But it's probably going to happen, so I'm surprised I've waited this long, I guess. I can't really see how I'm going to use it a lot, so I'm trying to decide if I want the smaller one or the larger one. It may not even happen, but aside from that, everything I have does not surprise me. I'm kind of spoiled in the scrapbooking stuff department. Number two, if you were designing your own line, what 3 elements would be required? Well, obviously number one would be pattern paper. A lot of pattern paper. Probably everything would have to be double-sided. There has to be a paper pad for sure. And the colors have to be bright. So there has to be bright colored pattern paper. What else? I think it would be cool to have some stamps, although I'm not a huge stamper. I think that it adds a good texture that's really easy, like anybody can do. So some sort of like word stamps or like little tiny typed sentiments, something like that. And I think the other thing would probably be, I don't know, buttons, honestly, like some funky buttons or cute clips or something different. Cork, something different, some sort of embellishment, like a die cut of some sort. Number 3, what's one item you must have to finish a layout of a card? Well, that one's easy. It has to be stitched. If I don't sew on it, it really feels like it's missing something for me. I sew on, I would say 90–95% of my pages. So for me, it's kind of not finished until I've stitched. In fact, most of the time when I do a layout, I'm actually thinking of the stitching part before I even put anything on the page. It's how I'm going to stitch the paper that I'm putting on or the embellishment or whatever. So definitely stitching. Most use social media influence besides YouTube. Well, that's pretty easy. That's Instagram. I love Instagram. I could go on there all day. I could search a million things and be a happy person. Now that I know how to pre-schedule stuff, it's even better. So that's pretty exciting for me. But I love Instagram. I love the current, you know, little snapshots in time. What I don't like is how they've changed Instagram and you don't see everybody's stuff all the time. I don't like that, but I do love Instagram. Yeah. Who is your dream collaborator? I don't know. That's a good question. I think that if I were to collaborate with someone, it would be someone doing the opposite of what I do. And I'm pretty much a pretty simple type of scrapbooker, I think, for the most part. So, and I don't really get messy, but I would say my dream collaborator would probably be Missy Whitten, because she's pretty awesome, and I cannot do half the stuff she can do. So I would love to collaborate with Missy, if she's out there. I highly doubt she's watching this video. But I think it would really help push me outside of my little not clean box that I've developed. Because I really would love to do more of that mixed media thing. So I think if I did collaborate with someone, it would be that. Yeah. If money was no object, what would my first purchase be? A bigger scrap area. If I could actually if someone said, you know, what could we do to make your scrapbooking area better? What could we give you? What could you buy? I would buy an addition to my house, so I could build a room for myself with like French doors and big windows, because being in the basement kind of stinks. And living in Canada, most of the year where I live is pretty dark. Like it's not nighttime all the time or anything like that. I'm not that far north, but we get winter like 6 months of the year essentially. So it's kind of crappy down here. Today is actually an okay kind of day. It's about 20 degrees in Canadian temperature. So I don't know, maybe that's like 70, 75 in the US, but it's kind of still dark. I have a big light above me, and if I didn't have that big light that my husband put in and the one that's behind me, that little lamp you can see here from IKEA would be set up, and even that doesn't really help me much. So when it's dark, it's pretty dark. There's not a lot I can do about that, and as you can see, there's shadows right there. That's from my YouTube camera. Anyway, so yeah, in addition to my house, to build an actual scrapbook room, and I would get pretty cabinets, like nice wood cabinets, probably white ones, not the dark stuff like this here. In hindsight, I would have done that, but nice pretty cabinets, and I built in like an island type desk, and I got big dreams. Number 7, what do you have the most in your stash? Well, I'll show you. So you can see here, I have a lot of paper. I'll move a little bit. I have a lot of paper there. And I have a whole, you can't really see it, it's way back here. Those are embellishments, but there's a whole basket like that, just paper pads. And I think that's from after I've purged, and I probably have, oh gosh, I have a box in my box pile here. And the bottom, there's a big box, and it's all paper. It's probably 12 inches, one of those big 12-inch deep boxes, all pattern paper. And there's another box, probably about this high, all paper pads. And they're partially used. None of them are brand new for sure, because I love paper pads. It's one of my staples. But definitely paper, because for me, I can do pretty much whatever with paper, and I can make my own embellishments. I can make my own letters, my own titles, whatever. As long as I have paper and a sewing machine, I'm a pretty happy girl. My favorite item in my stash, well, also pattern paper. Something that I've been hoarding though in my stash would have to be, I don't really know. I buy like glitter paper and stuff like that, and I don't really use it very often. I wouldn't say it's my favorite item, but maybe my favorite item is my cameo. You know what? That's probably my favorite item. I use it a lot. I mean, I design cut files, so I don't even use a third of those, but I would say maybe my cameo is my favorite item in my stash to use with all my pattern paper, of course. What is my most used item? That's very easy, actually. I can show you that. That is this Heidi Swap paper piercer. I've had this thing for quite a while. This is my third one, and it's a little bit bent on the end, and I stick it in my eraser here. And I use it to place glue dots or enamel dots or any like small little bits. It's good for like lifting. And as you can see, the cover falls off, but I don't care. And a friend of mine, Christine Davidson, gave me another one, so I actually have a spare somewhere hidden because I've already broken the end off one of these. I would say between this and my scissors, that's my most used item. Of course, a trimmer, those kind of things. But this here, I use it all the time. And if I can't find it, if I've kind of tucked it away and forgotten where I put it, my big fat fingers can't get stuff stuck down, so it drives me crazy. Where do I do my crafting? Well, as you can see, here is my cave, as I like to call it. It's pretty dark and gloomy, like I said. It's a huge hot mess. I probably could use a week to clean it up. I've bribed my children, the older children, the boys, and they won't help me even for money. I really need to have like a bit of a garage sale or something. I've given stuff away already, but this is where I do it. I have an IKEA desk with this Heidi Swap mat, which is really awesome. I love this. I got my laptop over here with my cameo. I'll show you that. It's like on this shoe rack thing. So I actually have two of them. I have my cameo down here and then a shoe rack. And I have like a bunch of, as you can see, miscellaneous junk, paper, that kind of thing. And then another shoe rack with my computer on top. And it works pretty good. And then I have an IKEA desk. with has two little filing cabinets beside it to hold it up, so it works pretty good. It's a good area aside from the darkness, I think, and if I could just get my crap together and clean it, it would be even better. Layout or project I've been procrastinating on. Well, I have a list of projects to do. I don't procrastinate on anything. That's kind of, I'm an anti-procrastinator. I'm a bit of a planner. I have a calendar that I use. I plan everything in it. It's my Scrapping and Cards Today planner. And I'm already working into the end of my July projects and into August already, so I don't procrastinate. In my general life, I don't kind of have time for that. So even with my kids and work and stuff, I truly just don't have time. So I don't really procrastinate. I only work on stuff that I'm inspired to do. So if I know a bunch of things I need to do, if something's not kind of like speaking to me, like I'm not really interested in that, I'll put that one off if I can. But I really don't generally procrastinate. In fact, once I have an idea, I just kind of dig in and go crazy. But I don't procrastinate. I'm anti-procrastination. What else? Layout, straight away or in a pile? Well, I'll just let you see and you can answer that question for yourselves. See all that up there? This whole nastiness here? Yeah, that's the answer to that question. Oh, and I have another pile. So here's another pile on my typewriter. Yeah, I do not put them in albums. I have albums you can see back here that are empty. They should go into. Half the time, and I'll be honest, I used to have upstairs in my bedroom, we live in a two-story, and when we first moved here like 12 years ago, 11 years ago, we had a bunch of boxes from our old house. They had layouts in them, and I just threw them in a box when we were moving. And by the time I got to opening them, stuff had fallen off or they were hideous, for example. I ripped the photos off and I took them off, and I'll probably do that with that stuff here. I even still have a bag of photos that I have to re-scrapbook. But those boxes there and all that stack of stuff there, eventually one day when I clean up the other stuff, I'll get to that. And if I don't like the pages anymore, or if there's no journaling and they're just kind of like whatever, I will rip the photos off if I like the photos enough, or if I can't reprint them. Otherwise they will hit the trash. I know that seems super wasteful, and I'll probably get a lot of thumbs down for that. But for me, the scrapbooking is not just about the memory keeping. I know there's a huge movement around the memory keeping part of it, but I really do it for a couple of reasons. It's for sanity, it's for my own me time, and I do it for like a creative kind of outlet. So a lot of it is that for me. It's not always about getting everything down on paper. My kids are a little bit older now, so all their baby stuff, I would never rip those apart. But all the ones, you know, where they're just kind of everyday pictures or nothing super special, yeah, I'll rip those apart. I'm not gonna lie, that's probably gonna happen. So straight away, no. In a pile, yes. My scrappy crush, who would make you grin or be excited if they liked or commented on my project? Oh, that's a good question. I don't really have a lot of scrappy crushes. I kind of try not to pay attention to any of that stuff. It could get people in a lot of trouble, I think. And yeah, so once Heidi Swap commented on a project for me, that was kind of nice, but I don't really honestly care about any of that stuff. I try to stay in my own little bubble. I don't even like looking at, I like going to Pinterest, but I don't like looking at one designer's work because I don't want to be overly influenced by something. I'd rather be an influencer, or not that I am, but I'd rather come up with my own kind of idea, but not, I don't have like a scrappy crush. There's definitely people, like I said, Missy Whidden, for example, earlier. I love what she does. Her projects are great. Could I do that? No. Do I want to do that? I like do parts of it. Would I want that whole mixed media thing all the time? I don't think so. I don't think that's my thing. It's definitely her thing because she rocks it, but I don't have like a scrappy crush, someone I really need to meet, or things like that. I'm pretty lucky to be on a couple really great design teams. So I have met some people who are amazing girls who, you know, nobody knows who they are, and they're fantastic people. I would much rather ooh and ah over those kind of people than try to meet or, you know, talk to or have someone comment that's, you know, famous. So that kind of stuff doesn't really get me excited. Where's your favorite places to shop? Well, I'm in Canada, so Canada's its own kind of thing. We don't have a lot of stores online, so luckily for me, I'm pretty fortunate I don't have to buy a lot of stuff because of the design teams that I'm on. It also limits you a bit because those are the products you use over and over again, right? But if I do buy something, I buy it at my local scrapbook store, the Scrapbook Cottage. Sharon Reimer is awesome. She always has a really good selection. I've also bought stuff in Canada from my, what's Kelly's store? Kelly was my stamping studio. She's out in Halifax, Nova Scotia. So I bought stuff at her at different crop and crate events. She always has a really good store too. Her and her husband Mike are awesome too. But I truly don't order a lot of stuff. But when I do, I try to support the local stores as much as I possibly can. If there's something I really, really need to have, I'll order it from Paper Issues. I've ordered from there before and it's been fast. But truly, I don't order a lot of stuff. I have a lot of stuff. So I don't order a lot of stuff. But like I said, I try to support the local stores as much as I can. And my dream job in the industry, I don't have any sort of aspirations for anything. So for me, I guess I'm living the dream. I'm pretty lucky to be able to teach classes for Scrapbook Cards Today magazine and be on their design team and coordinate their blog. That's kind of a bit of a dream for me, just to do that kind of stuff at such a high level with a bunch of great designers is really important. But you know what? In the end, all this is about your photos. So for me, yeah, it'd be great to have a design line. Not gonna lie about that. That would be pretty awesome if that happened. I'd be pretty excited. But I'm not like putting my name out there for anything like that. I'm not that kind of person. So that's just whatever. That would just be the cherry on top of a sundae. But I've been pretty lucky to design for a bunch of good companies. So for me right now, not having to buy a lot of scrapping stuff, I guess, is kind of a dream, right? It saves a lot of money. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So I'm supposed to scrappy tag some people now. So I think I'm going to scrappy tag Jen Chapin because I have never met Jen and she's on the team at Scrapbook and Cards Today with me. So I'm going to tag her. And I think I'm going to tag someone I already know a little bit about, and that's my friend Jennie McGarvey. She's another awesome scrapbooker. So I'm going to tag 2 Jens today and we'll see if they play along. I'll put the list of questions in my comment section or in the information section. And yeah, thanks for watching, and thanks to Melissa Elsner for tagging me. Make sure you check out her video. She had some fun things to say. And yeah, see you later. On the other side of the camera though this time. Bye-bye.